Hi everyone, it's Christine here from Ever After Paper Crafts, and today I have a super fun card to share with you. This is the card we're going to be working on today. Now this background I've already created in another video, and I will link you to that video below in the description box of this video. So I won't be working on the background today since I have created this very same background in another video. Here's another example of the background. So it's very easy, just use some dies and a cloud stencil to create that fun background look. And again, I will link you to that video below. Instead, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to do color one image in real time to show you how you can get a copic marker-like look, colored look on your images by only using Zig markers and a water brush. So by watercolor painting, I have found that I am able to get basically a copic colored like image look to my projects with only using a couple Zig markers and a water brush and painting the images. So I colored several images for this card. I colored the ship, this boy pirate, and these two cute little girl pirates. I'm going to color this one with you guys today on camera. She happens to be my favorite. So let's go ahead and get started. The stamp set that we are using today is a relatively new release from My Favorite Things. It's called Party Like a Pirate, and it is so adorable, and I used many of the images from this stamp set along with this cute sentiment that says "You are amazing," which I just stamped in black here along the bottom of the sand dune. So again, here's the card, and we're going to color this pirate today in real time for you. So let's go ahead and zoom in. I have already gone ahead and stamped the little pirate girl on some Canson XL watercolor paper. I am now going to go ahead and zoom in really close so you can really get a good look as I'm doing this coloring today. Make sure before you do any type of Zig watercoloring that you have a piece of paper towel handy to scribble off your water brush in between use of colors. I only used, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 markers in total to color this image. If I were using Copics, I would have probably used, just for the skin tone alone, I used 5 markers with my Copics. So you'll find that this is a lot less expensive way to get a very similar look to your projects. And I hope to be able to show you that today. So let's go ahead and get started with her little bandana, and I decided to color this in pink. So I am just using a pink marker, and that is the only color that I used for her little bandana that's wrapped here around her head. I put a little bit, scribbling just a little bit of the marker down here in this front left corner. I'm imagining, by the way, that the sun is coming down this way. So it's going to be mostly light in this area and darkest back here. So back here is where I'm going to put a little bit more of my pink marker, and I'm just scribbling it on here like so. And that's about it. That's what it's going to look like right now. Now I'm going to take my water brush, and I'm just using a Zig water brush. It happens to be my favorite, and it has a very small point there, which you can see, which enables me to get into these really small spaces. I'm now going to take my water brush and in a circular motion work it so that this color that we've laid down with the marker will fill up this empty space of this empty white space that we've left behind, and that will in turn create some really pretty shading. So here we go. We're just filling this in here. Okay, now another way to really, and you can see there that I really have some nice highlighting already, but let me show you how to make it even more Copic-like. I'm going to go back over what I've already done. So I'm going to take my pink marker again, scribble more ink from the marker down there and the tiny little bit I had here, just going back over where I'd already put that shadow. And now again, I'm going to take my water brush and pull this color, and you'll notice it's even more pronounced shading now. More dramatic, if you will, shading. The darker is a little bit darker, which makes the lighter shaded part, or the highlighted part rather, really pop. And there you have it. So there's your, let me turn her around. Hopefully that shading is showing up in the camera. It's really, in real life, it's a definite distinction. So you have dark here and a little bit dark right here, and then this middle is very highlighted and much lighter than the rest. So hopefully that is showing up on camera. Now for her hair, I decided to use let's see, I decided to use brown and light brown for her hair. So let's go ahead and do that. Now for the little tendrils that are up here, I only used the darker color. I only used the brown because there's so little space that it really didn't make much sense to scribble on two different colors. It really would have just gotten lost. So I'm just putting a little bit of brown down, and then I'm using my water brush to fill in the remainder of the tiny little tendrils. And in real life, you can see a very subtle shaded look there, and I'm not sure if it's going to show up on camera or not, but I will bring it up just in case you can see it. It will show up in the pictures, and I will have a link to my blog below, which will have lots of pictures of these images so you can really see the coloring well. But you can, in real life, like I said, you can see a small distinction, or in other words, a little tiny bit of shading. So now I'm going to take this chunk of hair here. There's a lot more to work with, so the shading is going to be a bit more noticeable. And I'm just, in the little parts of hair, as you can see here, that jut out, they're going to be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to put my darker ink towards the inside of those twisty, curly tendrils of hair. I'm going to now take my lighter color, which is this light brown, and in a circular motion, I'm just going to pull out that darker color and bring the darker brown color into some of that white space. Now I'm going to use my water brush to fill in the remainder of the white space by just simply going in a circular motion and pulling the color out. And when we're done here, you will really see some really pretty shading. Because I really want this to look like it was colored with, you know, really bright markers like copic markers or other types of alcohol markers. I really want bright, bright, bright colors and not the lighter kind, the lighter look that you get with watercolors. I'm going back over it again with the same two, whoop, I just threw my marker there, sorry about that. With the same exact process that we just did, I'm doing it one more time. I'm just going back over it one more time just to darken it up even more. The great thing about the zigs is that step really isn't absolutely necessary because the zigs are so bright and vibrant on their own. One go around really tends to do it. But if you want to just make it a little bit darker, you can do so. You can work right back over top of it, which is a great feature. Now I'm going to work on her little dress, and for her dress I used yellow and brown, and you're probably thinking that's odd to combine yellow and brown, but just watch how beautiful this is. What a beautiful combination this is. I just love it. So I'm just going to take the brown and come over here and work it. I think down this side is going to be darkest, and I'm going to work in a little section. So I'm going to stop where her sash cuts across her little dress here and just work in tiny little sections. That way my ink that I'm laying down with my markers stays nice and wet and will react to the water and it won't dry up on me. If I work in smaller sections and just take it kind of slow, I get better results. Now we're going to take this marker and pull this color out, and look how beautiful that is. You still have a brown base to your color here that this combination creates, but it almost, mixing it with that yellow, gives it that beautiful kind of golden color look. I just love it. Now we're going to do the bottom half of her dress. And let me just push this up just a little bit. And so we're going to come underneath this sash is where it's going to be darkest, along the bottom here, the side rather of the sash, and then a little bit along the bottom corner of the little dress. Now I'm going to take the yellow and in a circular motion pull that brown color out, and it's such a pretty color. It's just so pretty what is created there. And now I'm going to take my water brush and just blend it out into the empty space that remains. And you have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blended look to the little dress here. All right, now I'm going to get my pink marker back out, and I'm going to make this little sash in the middle here pink. I'm going to put just a tiny little bit right here where there looks like there's a fold, and then on the right side of the dress it's going to certainly be darkest. So I'm just scribbling, just literally scribbling a line of color down, and then I'm going to take my water brush and in a circular motion push that color out into the empty white space that remains. I'm going to do the same thing on this part of the sash. The ribbon behind is certainly going to be darker because it's in the shade, it's shaded more by this ribbon that's on top. All right, and then I noticed that I neglected to do the little ends up here of her little bandana. So we need to go back up and do that. So I'm just going to quickly pull this color out with my water brush here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the sash one more time so we get that really nice marker look. So I'm just going to go over where I already put the color down, just re-going over that, what I've already done, just doing it the same thing one more time. Pull that color out, and there we have it. Very pretty. And I missed just a little bit up here. I'm going to go back in and fix that. Okay. All right. So now we need to do her little boots. So let's go ahead, and I did those the same color as her dress. I did brown and yellow. So we're just going to do a little bit here, kind of like the right side of the boots is going to be darkest. So we'll put our color, our darkest color down there, and then we'll take our yellow and in a circular motion blend that brown color outwards towards the rest of the open space, the open white space. And then we'll take our water brush and pull this out into the remainder of the space there. All right, and now we need to do her little telescope, and I just used a gray for that, just gray. And we're just going to put a little bit of gray there. So basically the bottom of the scope is certainly going to be darkest. Then the sun's going to be hitting kind of the top of it. So the top of it's going to be lighter. It's going to be highlighted where that bright sun is hitting it. So now we'll just use our little water brush here to pull this color up. Sometimes it helps to turn the paper in the direction that you want that color to move. And I don't know why that helps, but it tends to help me. It's probably just in my head that it helps, but it feels like it does anyway. So we're just pulling this color out now, and then just lightly doing the inside where the glass would be as well. I would put glossy accents on that part right there. Now, I noticed here that my pink sash bled a little bit into the brown of her dress. So I'm going to show you how we fix that. We're going to take the brown here, and we're going to just retrace our brown again where we laid it down originally. So I'm putting the brown here where I had it, just where I had it before. And now I'm going to take the yellow, do the same thing, pull that out just a little bit. And as you will see, once I get the water brush going, it will blend in that pink that kind of bled a little bit, and you won't even see it anymore. So that is an excellent way if you get, and how that happened to me is I just got my water brush a little bit too wet when I was working with the pink, and it caused it to bleed out just a little bit. So if that happens to you, just go back over with your original colors and it'll fix it. And I did the same thing happened here along the bottom. So I'm just going to go back over again, exactly like I just did with the brown and the yellow. Circular motion, pull that brown out, and then use your water brush and pull everything in. And there you have it. So that is a good tip on how to fix it if something bleeds on you. I rarely have bleeding, to be honest. I accidentally squeezed my water brush and a whole glob of water came out, and that's what happened. So generally though, that does not happen to me. I find that this particular water brush is really great. So now we're going to go ahead and do her skin tone, and I am using Flesh Color and, I grabbed the wrong marker, I'm sorry, Flesh Color and Blush. And I always start, as you've seen throughout this video, I always start with my darkest color first. So I'm putting the blush down first. And I'm just kind of going around her face. It's certainly going to be darkest over here on the right side of her face. So I'm just coloring that in with the blush, and now I'm going in with the Flesh Color, pulling that blush out into the open spaces here, and in a circular motion blend all that together, and then coming in with my water brush and mixing it all into the white space to fill it in. We're going to go back over this again in just a moment to give it that more marker look to it, but I'm going to do all of her, the rest of her skin too. And then we'll go back over everything again because it'll have a little time to dry. So now I put the blush down first on her arms. Now I'm doing the Flesh Color, and I'm going to pull all of that with a water brush. Whoops, I forgot her little hand here on top of the telescope. So let's fix that here. Pull that out, and then we just need to do her little legs, and then we'll be going back over everything one more time, and this time we'll also add some blush. So here we go. Here's some Flesh Color over that blush. and then pull that in. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing again. And the reason why I'm doing the same thing again is just to emphasize the shading. Like you can, just to give it an even more darker, intense look like you get with markers. My purpose and goal of this video is to simply show you how with such fewer markers and expense with these Zig markers, you can get a very copic-like or other alcohol marker type look. In other words, a very vibrant look. So I don't want you to think, oh, Zigs, they're watercolor, you know, watercolor brushes. You're painting, you're with water and you're doing watercoloring. It's going to be lighter and, you know, a more typical watercolor look. Not so. Not so at all. You really get gorgeous, vibrant coloring using these markers. And the trick, if you want it even more bright, is to do what I'm doing now and to simply go over it again and again. And you could even keep going over it if you wanted. Now, to add some blush to her cheeks, I'm just going to take a almond pink. This is my favorite for blush. And I'm just going to really just in a circular motion rub that in. And I'm going to do it on both sides. And it's going to, once it's dry, it's going to look really cute. I'll show you in the finished card in a moment. And now we're just going to go over again where we lay down all of the color on the rest of her body here, where her skin is showing. So I laid down the blush. Now I'm going in with the flesh color and pulling that blush out and doing the same thing on the legs. And now I'm going to take my water brush and pull everything together here and into the empty space to give us that nice shaded look. And that's it, guys. That is how easy it is to create a really bright, vibrant shaded look with your Zig markers. And this was done very quickly as well. So it doesn't really take a lot of time to get that fun look. I'm going to zoom back out now and show you the finished card again, which looks like this. Here again, it's the little girl we just colored, and then these are the other two and the ship. And I will list on my blog for you all of the different colors of Zig markers that I used for all of the other images as well. So that's it, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this quick little video and that you'll give these Zig markers a try. You really get vibrant Copic-like results, and I just love them. So thanks so much as always for stopping by, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.